Are we going?
Yeah.
I forgot what we're going on about. Come on, Richard.
Qualifiers.
Yes. Qualifiers and how frustrating they can be.
No.
But also, you've got to have a completely different mindset in that you're only there to win. You know what I mean? It's all you can
Have
sort of
you
like
started mid-thing?
what?
He's just started, hasn't he? He's just on
I
it.
thought we were going. We're going for it, aren't we?
Yeah, but we're not following it on from the other bit.
We're starting again, on.
Like start scratch.
Start scratch.
Oh,
Do
well,
like.
that's how we started off the last one, wasn't it?
I was just going. You didn't like.
Well, no, you introduced me.
Right,
That's why.
qualifiers and all that. So, what we want to have a chat about.
Right, go on then. Who's going? Are you going?
I'm on now. We're started. We're going, Rich. Right,
Well, leave all
qualifiers
that
and
in
all
then,
that.
'cause it's funny. What are we on about?
Well, qualifiers, I think. Anyway, right, stop it. So we want to have a little chat about, firstly, if you're just getting into them, and then our feelings on them and all sort of things like that. Everything that is qualifiers we're going to talk about, aren't we?
Yes,
And
definitely.
the first thing that has to be addressed is, if you're just getting into them, how different they are to normal open matches, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, normal matches, you know, you're there, you're fishing, you're trying to get in the frame or win your section, or obviously win the match as well. But you know, you get to know venues. Whereas qualifiers, you're there for one purpose: you've got to win.
Not far. You've got to give yourself the best chance of winning, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, and the drawback, like you, we need to have lessons of you,
are,
Jamie.
but no, come on, serious. It's you've got. I want to talk. Well, I'm just catching up on first. Yes, you do want to win, of course you do, and you never want to waste the chance of potentially winning if you've drawn a peg.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I'm even thinking different. We're in a funny position in that we know. I'm going to say all of the qualifying venues, pretty much. Obviously, there's an odd.
They do, because obviously they don't really change much, do they,
No.
from year to year, and you get to know them. They're all at the same times of year as well.
Yeah, so we know that often the type of day we can expect, whether we've got a chance or not.
Which can be our downfall, because literally your
Definitely.
hand goes in your bag, you draw your peg, you're like, no
Head
chance.
goes down.
There's
mentality
definitely an
goes
element
down.
like not knowing a venue and just drawing your peg, going to it and fishing.
Massively.
You
Doesn't have
generally
help, doesn't it?
do all right, don't you?
Yeah, well, you have a different outlook, innit? You don't get that head down immediately because you think you haven't got a chance,
Yeah.
which is huge, innit? It's our biggest downfall, but also it means that when we do get a chance, I mean, once you gain the knowledge of a venue or understanding of where can win and all of that, it makes you really, really have a chance when you do get a peg,
Oh, definitely.
doesn't it? You haven't that. So, but that's just your apprenticeship. That's just putting your time in and starting qualifiers in the first place, isn't it? You just have to go with the forget about having a nice day,
Yeah.
because unfortunately they're a bit brutal and they're not about the best days fishing you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in my head, you've almost got two types of anglers. You've got like your team anglers, which are the sort of people that can go and get the most out of peg on a tricky day, and for that side of things, they're like invaluable.
Yeah.
But trying to do that on qualifiers, you've kind of got to go the other way a bit, haven't you?
I think you've always got to take the risk, haven't you?
You've got to sort of go beast
You have to
mode,
open your
haven't
eyes though, don't you? And have to fish to what's right on the day.
Yeah.
In fact, no, that's what I'm going to go with. That's the biggest mistake I see.
What, too much choice and...
People rocking up already knowing how they're going to approach. Because it's
Yeah.
a qualifier, they think, oh, I've got to fish shallow to win.
Yeah.
So they do that. It's not the way of doing it. Open your eyes and see what your peg's telling you.
Adaptable to the to the changes on the day with the weather front.
Oh, everything, innit? You've just got to, it's fishing, you've got to open your eyes. You still have to do the
To
right
be fair
thing
though,
on the
Jay,
right
most
peg.
of them will be caught shallow though. Most of the qualifiers will be won shallow.
Yeah, I'm having that, but in very different ways. Most of the time,
Oh,
hooking, innit?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking partridge for one.
Yeah, he's just thinking of partridge. But it is, but still, if you go and just go, right, I'm going to go fish shallow,
Yeah.
you're not going to catch anything potentially, and you might spoil your peg that was capable of winning in a different way by
Yeah.
doing so.
Because of obviously how you're going to feed it. And
Yeah,
what
you've
have
got to open your eyes, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to learn the venues, but also using your watercraft of looking at a peg and deciding what's best to do. The same as you would in an open match, but in a qualifier, you take the risk of, if this works, I can win, and it looks like that's right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like today, you wouldn't...
I wouldn't be fishing pace shallow. But it's
Wouldn't be
carnage,
fishing
isn't
pace
it? It's
shallow.
like, it's right, isn't it? Look at it.
Yeah, but
It's
you
really
wouldn't
like
take the
that.
risk of just turning up going, I'm going to fish shallow.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance you catch nothing.
Yeah.
You've got to just have a look how things are as well on the day, innit? But keep things limited as well. When you get to your peg, you don't want to do 27 things. You ain't going to win doing that.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Anyone who's ever won a qualifier, it'll be 1, 2, maybe 3 things that they've caught on, and it's
Yeah.
just been.
They're not sort of like nicking a fish, changing, going somewhere else, going up ledger bomb, going up method,
Yeah.
coming pole short, pole long and all that. It's just not going to work. It's,
No.
as you say, 2 or 3 methods and that's it. Can be, obviously, the stage I'm at now, it's like, yeah, but then, obviously, Jay was at it.
Are we going to go to? We're going to talk about that now.
Yeah,
the,
let's
the
go for it
mentality
now.
of them. That is the hard bit, innit?
What, the qualifier wall.
Yeah,
Well,
so...
that's what it comes to, innit? 'Cause you start off keen as, don't you? Like,
oh, yeah,
stupidly keen.
we're getting, like, what is it? When did they start? Like, mid-March, don't they? Silly season from mid-March. Come on, Jay, lad. put
Being
some effort in.
rubbish now, aren't
Come
I?
on. And then from then on, it's pretty much a few Wednesdays, but lots of Saturdays, odd Sunday. Jay was at the war, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's through to one of them, so all the elation, like, just ridiculous, but...
It
me and
outweighs
Mitch-
everything.
Me and Mitch are still there, like, oh, here we go again.
I've had
And
it for 5 years, so it's all right.
It does, yeah, but to be fair, first one, mate, 1 out of 1, wouldn't you?
Should have
You know what
stopped
I mean?
at that. That was a point.
Just
I should
give
have
up.
stopped.
Fishing completed, Richard.
Yeah, take up golf or something.
So yeah, it's really frustrating. But we know we've been fishing long enough to know that obviously you keep going. Eventually, the
get a
gods
chance.
like look down on you. You get your chance, and as Jay said before, it's all about taking it, innit? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but you've got to
being
keep
prepared
swimming,
for
haven't
that-
you? You've
that
got to
chance
just
that you're
keep
gonna get.
going and going and going. All of a sudden you go, oh, right, this is easy.
And
then
it is, the qualifiers that obviously nowhere near as much as Jay, but the qualifiers that I qualified for, it's never a difficult match, is it?
No, it's not a technical one that you
No,
go,
it's
that was
just-
amazing. Then you just go, oh, that was nice. I had a nice match. And
Yeah.
it happens, like you said, when you least expect it.
It does.
Doesn't it?
100%. You can you're such a downer, even like through like your normal fishing. If you're fishing like normal open matches as well. The trouble I've got, folks, is the only matches that I fish are like the qualifiers.
I was going to
Yeah.
talk about that next.
So am I getting ahead of myself? Do apologise.
No, you're not, but I was going to talk.
But yeah, it's that mentality obviously. But like if you're fishing matches as well, you're with the odd one, so you're like
You
confidence
need a bit
up
of
there
both, don't you?
Yeah. But then when it's just the qualifiers and you're waiting for that one opportunity, it's like the Eminem song.
One chance.
He's
Lose
proper
yourself.
going on now,
That's
isn't he?
it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it is though, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But you get to a point where you start questioning everything about fishing, don't you? Because wouldn't you?
Richard, I'm at that stage. Welcome. That's me fishing at the minute.
But
What
there's
am I
so
doing
many-
here? I can't get a bite, can't catch any fish, and you go home like that. Oh, what is going on?
I suppose
Yeah.
everything's more extreme with them, isn't it? Like a bad day is even worse because there's more people on a venue, more pegs in, and you're stretching all the fish out.
That's it, yeah. Pressure on the fishery is
And-
just...
Do you know what also feels worse? In that if you're in an open match, a good result can be anything. It can be a section win, it can come second and you've done really well, you're really happy. Whereas you come second in a qualifier, you may have fished a phenomenal match and all you get is
yeah.
a kick up the arse for
You'd,
it.
you'd rather come like 5th or 6th, pick up a few quid, but know you weren't anywhere near winning,
Yeah.
than finishing
Finishing
second.
second, which is phenomenal. Do you know what I mean?
There's a good second and a bad second, though, isn't there?
Oh,
If
look, you've robbed out Steve Riggart on his podcast.
Did I?
Yeah, yeah. Go on.
But yeah, if
Is that what
you're,
he said?
Yeah, he talks about that in something.
yeah,
I
but
was going to talk about that in a bit as well.
it was
it
probably
is.
more technical. But mine was basically if you got proper bashed up but still finished second,
Yeah.
it's all right. Or versus if you were like £2 or something.
No, Richard, you're just talking absolute...
No,
no
it-
seconds
No.
good, mate.
If, no,
It
if you
isn't,
finish
but
second, you get
you don't
decent
mind coming
pick up.
second if you didn't have a chance.
If you got beat by £100, you know you're not catching £100
Oh, right,
more.
I get you, right, I know what you mean now. What have you got there?
No, just.
I know what you mean now, yeah. No, sorry, you're not talking... Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
still had a day's fishing. It's not ideal.
Whereas
but
if you like lose a few and you come second and you could have won,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got a few of them.
yeah, if you can
Yeah,
look
yeah.
back and be like, if I'd landed that fish or something,
Yeah.
that'd have made the difference.
But that said as well, I think that gives you a bigger hunger. When you've had a sniff and you've been very close,
yeah,
Yeah.
it does not give you a ooh,
Kick up
do you know
the
what I mean?
what's it and then go again, yeah.
Yeah, you can't assume the mentality of, oh, that was my chance and I'm not getting another one. Oh, no. Just no. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Make you want it even more that it was close. If I'd have done a bit more,
Yeah,
I'd be in final now.
yeah, definitely.
That's how you've got to be in it. And it's flipping hard to do, but yes, that is how you have to be with these evil matches that they are, aren't they? Because they're horrible.
As I say, what am I? I'm 8 qualifiers in now from sort
Is
of
that what
like,
you're
yeah,
That's
middle
nothing.
of March, and I know it's nothing. That's what I mean. That's what I've said about you before,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean.
It's
It
brutal,
definitely
isn't it?
makes you just got to keep going and keep going. But every week at the minute, it's like, oh, for goodness sake, you know what I mean. But that's what I mean. You keep going, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get a draw, we'll get a chance, and then
You're getting a chance on Saturday. Yeah, there's my prediction. Mystic
Qualifier.
Meg and all of that. Yeah, this podcast will be out next week. Andy's qualifying in 2 days' time.
I'll go ahead, Jay.
Mainly because you're a drawback at Partridge, but let's not get into that.
I do like drawing well there.
Isn't it?
And it's one of them. It's like it's a method water that proper suits me as well. To be fair.
No floats.
But there's my prediction. But it's you just got to keep on swimming, haven't you? But as well, not get the disheartened. The only thing that makes them really disheartened is the flipping cost of them, because they're so expensive.
I know,
but
especially now.
It's worth it.
It is worth it when you get. I mean, it's the elation, innit? Obviously, you've just been through it last week. You've been through it lots and lots, Jamie. But
Yes.
we talked about this before. When you're on it, it's like drive back and like everyone's ringing you, congratulating you. You're ringing people like,
There's no
it's
better
just-
feeling in fishing, is there?
Oh, it's amazing.
Like, no, not in match fishing. Nothing compares to that
No.
of getting in one of them qualifiers.
I was like that the other week when I won at Cummo, to be fair. Danny Mayer won.
But I think that, going back to what you were saying, like fishing open matches in amongst them, it is almost like that, so you can almost remember.
Keeps it healthy.
Yeah, I sort of
In
know
tune
what
with
I'm
it.
doing. I can catch a few fish, sort of thing, and
Yeah.
you're like, right. But if you went the other way and you're just like, right, I'm just fishing open matches this year or this and that, you'd feel like you were sort of cheating and not doing it properly as well.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, you're not in the biggest theatre potentially. That gone? Oh, yeah.
That's that one that ate your float. It was like literally just followed it down.
Was it? He
and
went
nailed
back
it,
down and... Oh, he's not in the mouth. He
Oh,
wasn't in the
dear.
mouth then.
Yeah.
Right, one more fish and then I'm going to chat to you properly. But yeah, where else can we go with the Al Qualifier thing? Because it's a strange one, isn't it? We're so keen to begin with.
You
And
do.
then
You like obviously now we've got like the winter fishing, which makes you keen because there's a lot of winter fishing that we do. So it makes you keen for the qualifiers coming
But do you
up.
not think like the qualifiers that Gaz did for that silverfish one and like feeder masters and stuff like that, it is almost a nicer way of doing it where you've just got to win a 10, 15, 20 peg section, whatever it might be. Suddenly it becomes a lot more realistic. You feel you get a lot more chances rather than just...
You know what, Rich? I'd probably soon have more of them and not winners. I mean,
Yeah, but
obviously the big money's
it's about
good,
the prize, isn't it?
but
It's
winning
all
like
in relation to the prize.
but more of them and winning 5 or 10 grand. And if you're lucky enough to win
But
2 or 3 of them, then
that's the point where you're going to have 60, 70 peg final, so it probably becomes more of
Well,
a
we'll just
bag
have him in
affair.
them and then we can split. Rich,
lot-
you know what I mean? That's what you're there for,
A
Jamie.
lot harder to win.
Go
but,
ahead, Jay.
yeah.
Come and get it won, mate.
No, you need a mix of both.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? I like the littler events that are... I'm going to...
It gets you keen though, doesn't it? As I said, and wintry one, they do get you right keen.
Yeah, but they need to be like that, because if it was winner only in the winter,
Yeah,
you'd hate fishing,
yeah,
wouldn't you? If you had that mentality of having to win the match in the winter, flipping, that could be horrible, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Like really, really hard, especially carp as well. You couldn't do it. Yeah, whereas now, at least you get a bit of a day's fishing. And the later it goes in the year as well, the more days fishing you get, don't you? Because they do start, that's another thing with qualifiers, isn't
Go
it?
on.
They start when they have to, just
Yeah.
to simply fit them in.
Yeah.
But it's a horrible time of year to start when commercials, is this foul up as well?
Nah,
It's just wrapped around it.
twisted, don't they?
When commercials aren't at the best.
Do you not think though that them first few early qualifiers, it's a most
Anyone's, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I like
they
that,
throw
Rich.
random results.
That's what
like
I mean, yeah.
any-
But they're also the worst days fishing that you get.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
drawing well.
Yeah,
So they can kill you off really quickly, can't they? Because you have bad pegs and you catch nothing because it's winter and they're not eating. It's not
But
winter, but
in a way, if you wanted to just give it a go at a random one, they're probably quite a good one that
yeah.
like you can beat anyone on them if you draw the right peg.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
one of them.
If you're on a stack and it's still sort of winter mode, and you know what
Yeah,
I mean.
but
They ain't
the odd
gonna move, are
carpy
they?
venue as well, definitely. Yeah, very much. Like when I think like Morlandsey, just coming out of winter when they're a
Yeah,
bit stacked up a bit.
Yeah, draw on middle of bank or somewhere like that.
Just the carb more than F1s, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What
Or
else?
to be fair, them early ones at Tunnel, if it was still wintry, because you qualified a few years back where there was just one dobbing epicentre, wasn't there?
Yeah. Won it in the first hour.
Peg one canal out a year. That's about 10 years ago. That.
No, it won't be that far because I was still at MAP.
It might have, okay, not that far, but 8 years ago then. That
Yeah.
was Peg One Canal that you're on about. Yeah,
But-
that's the last time I've caught dobbing, I think.
But yeah, as you get later
One
on in
more.
the year, it probably brings more pegs into it. And
It does. You tend to, without any disrespect, you tend to get the better anglers have more chance of qualifying later in the year because there's more pegs and more fish feeding, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, but then you get your best days fishing as well. isn't it? The later it gets. Like, here's a mega example where we are today, Ehrenbrook. We came and it was like a nasty spell, wasn't it? It went cold last time we were here.
Yeah.
So it knocked the fishing down, and it did make it that only 4 or 5 pegs were capable of winning, and on canal they were. Whereas if you come here in the next one, when's the next one? Middle of June?
It's June time, isn't it? There's
It'll
there's going to be quite a few pegs, especially with all the work they've done. It's phenomenal, isn't it?
It'll be ridiculous. The next qualifier when it's warm, you'll need £200, and every lake will chuck up £100. Every single, without fail, won't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, bit of a going off-piste with this one, and we've not even discussed this.
Go on.
If you had the power at Angling Trust or Match This, whatever, what changes would you make to qualifiers, or would you just keep them the same?
Oh, Richard.
No. Can I go?
Yeah?
Yeah, because
You ready? Andy's rants, part 15. No, I'm not going to go much. I reckon it should be 4 or 5 venues that can hold qualifiers. My biggest thing is smaller venues and just cramming, obviously, a lot of anglers on there. With the bigger venues, you can generally have a day's fishing. So I think 4 or 5 venues should just hold pretty much all the qualifiers. That's my biggest thing, definitely.
Do you know, instead, I'm going to contradict you, not in a nasty way.
Rich.
I like the variation. I think they should. No, what you've said's bang on for the day's fishing. I think potentially bigger finals with more people.
Yeah.
And have smaller attendances at the smaller venues. So
Hang on,
maybe
say
a
it again,
60
say it
pegger.
again, say it again, Joe. Go ahead.
Have less people on the qualifiers on the venues that
Right,
maybe can't handle it.
So cap them at 70 or 80, and then the bigger venues 150.
Yeah, chuck more people in
I
final
like that.
maybe.
So what Jamie said, that's what I was going to say.
I think the only problem with that,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know what the numbers would look like when you actually work it out. You're going to have 2 sorts of people who go to qualifiers, aren't you? You're going to have people who will just go to pretty much everything within a certain radius, and that's what they spend their time doing.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have your local anglers who probably won't travel miles, but they'll say, "Oh yeah, I fish partridge quite regularly."
Prime example.
Yeah.
It's always the one that sells out quickest because all the obviously the local anglers.
No, I don't think it does. I think it just has the best mix of both. Do you know what I mean? It has a good head of local anglers, say
Arguing with
40.
me a lot today, you are, Jay.
I know, but because you're talking rubbish half the time.
Sorry.
That's just
Doesn't
perfect.
catch any fish.
Old Up has perfect location,
Yeah, it does.
doesn't it?
It is.
Because it drags all us travellers in,
Yeah.
but it has a good. You know what I mean? But it does, doesn't it?
And he has actually rocked up with a caravan there.
Yeah. Whereas if
Hey,
you
my
put some
caravan
there-
is there actually. Kevin's situated right there, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. That was like a tuna fish, wasn't it?
Many.
Right, yeah, no,
Right,
I
this is
like
my
that
last one.
idea. Yeah, smaller venues and
They
then
nearly
more
did
on
that
the
at one
bigger
point,
venues.
didn't they? They did start changing the amount of people on the bank.
Yeah.
But they seem to have just capped it at 100 now, don't they?
Yeah.
Definitely in Fish Show.
What would you change then? Come on, Jay.
I'm
Is that where you're going to down the same route?
I'm with you with numbers, yeah. But I can't think of a venue I've been to that was horrible pegging. I think they've got the venues right now. There's nowhere that I hate going anymore, and I think it's not suitable. I think everywhere's pretty much. You've got room everywhere, haven't you? It's not silly.
Yeah.
Think of anywhere weird?
No.
What I do think they need to do is shuffle venues about the times that they use them at the right times.
All right, so you mean like bigger, deeper venues, wait till it's a bit warmer?
Yeah, F1 venues to start with, get
Yeah,
all them out the way, then move on to carp venues. Loosely. Obviously, there's exceptions and there's a mix.
Do some silverfish ones in winter just to really.
That's going to be a different competition, hasn't it?
Nah, just do a fisher one.
Just throw one random natural venue in it, or just a silvers. Yeah, don't know, but yeah, I'm going to go with that.
What are you, Richard? Come on. Richard!
The boring one would be actually get them to talk to each other
Yeah, we've spoken
and all
about
that, but that's never going to happen.
Oh,
by the
right,
sound
so
of
they're
it.
not clashing and same two on the same date kind of thing.
Yeah, what could make them?
It is hard. There's not been many Wednesday ones this year, has there?
No.
We've had a lot of Wednesday ones in the past and they were brilliant. You know
No
what I mean?
Sunday ones, which is silly.
Do you reckon doing something like almost an extra place or an extra couple of places in the final, where over the course of your qualifiers you build up points?
No, because it's
Along that-
elitist again, innit?
But you
Maybe rewarding second and third place with a.
A fish
know.
off. No, that maybe did that. Then you always at Golden Reel. Did Phil do that?
Yeah,
especially?
Phil does that with another place, but
Yeah.
don't know. It is what it is. I do like the winner take all out, or winner goes to element and all that. But
Well, there has been a few where two have gone through.
That was the year they did
That
the
was the
semi-final.
semi-final. We never want that again. Ever, ever, ever.
No,
that
I mean
was
like
horrible.
right back in the day, natural waters 2 used to go.
Did
through.
they?
Did they? But there were less qualifiers then, weren't there?
Yeah, yeah.
there was only
just like
16
a million
still.
on each qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I come second and that party's won.
Did you? What, when you actually went on and...
Yeah.
So you've won a Fisher without winning the qualifier?
Yeah.
That's a claim, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, only person to ever win
Well,
a
sure,
Fisher
Lindon
without
had
winning the
one as
qualifier.
well.
But that year there was people who actually qualified for a fish show but never fished a final.
Never fished the final,
Yeah, because
That's-
the semi was like the worst thing.
Mate, that was the horriblest thing we've ever fished. We
Yeah.
spoke about that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Too much stress and pressure within
Horrible.
that time
Horrible,
frame, wasn't it?
horrible.
But yeah,
Um,
I don't know where we've gone with that, but we've done some babbling about lots of rubbish with qualifiers, haven't we?
Yes.
I think you get the gist, is that they're pretty much horrible things. You don't often get a day's fishing, but when you do, it makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah.